A long, long time ago, in a far, far away place called Blackistan, there were wars, and these conflicts were called the Blackistan Wars. And throughout these wars, there arose a man of royal lineage, and his name was BenjaminDeSouza. He brought forth a sword that will shine light in darkness, free the captive minds, and bring truth and justice. His eyes glimmered like ember. His skin was like fine burnished steel, and as he walked, behind him he left a glistening wake. This is the story of BenjaminDeSouza, the Prince and the Warlord. Yo, what's happening? It's BenjaminDeSouza here, the Prince, back with another classic. And what I would like to discuss in this video is weak debating tactics in SnowFlakes and Narcissists. Now, what I've been noticing as of late is that there are several malignant narcissists making their rounds in these YouTube streets. You can find them on your panel. And one of the prime indicators of these narcissists is that they don't like to qualify their statements. As a matter of fact, they don't like to qualify their statement so much so that if you ask them to qualify said statement, they will become very indignant. And they always have something to hide. If you ask them a question, like take for instance, last week or so, I was on a panel with the Grinch, right? And I believe I asked him what his ethnicity was, because I was trying to get to a greater point. A narcissist like that becomes indignant when you question him, and he will always, well, not always, but in many cases, he will respond to a question like that. Well, what does that have to do with what we're talking about? What does that have to... Bruh, why are you interrogating me? Bruh, do you have something to hide, sir? Do you have something to hide? See, he's indignant that I would even question him in a manner. And he's apprehensive to answer the question because he knows that there's another follow-up question that may poke holes in his fragile argument. But that's just one example, you know. So they don't like to be questioned. Now, there are certain content creators who I do rock with heavy because they qualify their statement, or they qualify said statements. Like let's say MOT or Obsidian or Game Changer. They'll make a statement, they'll make an assertion, they'll say ABC, and then they'll follow ABC up with X, Y, and Z. They'll say ABC, and ABC is what ABC is because of X, Y, and Z. Now, if I inquire on them to elaborate on, let's say, B, then for the most part, as far as I can tell so far, they have no problem with qualifying the point B. Or if I ask them to elaborate on point X, or point Z, or point A, or point C, they'll do that. But the narcissist gets very indignant when you ask him to explain himself or explain his points. You'll find a lot of snowflake SJWs do this. They get, when you question their logic or when you question their mode of thought and their ideals, they get very indignant. It's like, how dare you question me? My liberal ideologies are the right way. You're just too much of a Philistine to understand. I have to educate you. Well, okay, educate me. I'm listening. I have questions. Enlighten me, sir. You know, a lot of these narcissists run off the notion of do as I say, not as I do type of shit. You know, they speak in very matter-of-fact type of terms, but it is what it is. A weak debating tactic is attempting to filibuster and drown out a person's talking points just because you might have a better reception and a better and a louder mic, you know? And you'll find this especially when I'm talking to certain people, especially these narcissists who are snowflakes who can't hold their talking points up to the light of scrutiny. When they know that I'm about to nail their ass to the cross on a particular talking point, when I start talking, they'll start trying to talk over me and filibustering me. You know what I'm saying? And then they like to play victim because when I start to turn up, you know, that they want to interrupt me and talk over me, but then when I turn up and I say, oh, well, okay, you know, I can go super saiyan, I can go super nigga and let my nigga juice go over 9,000. I can do that too. Then when I start to turn up, then they want to play the victim. Oh, my Benjamin's being so mean. He's interrupting me. Or they'll play this role. This a favorite one. Well, you go ahead and you let me know when I can speak, and then they say they little bullshit. Or after I'm done saying what I gotta say, then they'll come with some bullshit. May I speak now? Like, dude, you a bitch, but whatever. Go ahead, man. You know. But what else? What else? I think that's about it, man. They don't like to be scrutinized. They don't like to qualify their statements. They speak in a matter-of-fact type of manner. And when cornered, they will filibuster and interrupt. And then when you return in kind, they play the victim. Watch out for these snowflakes. Oh yeah. And one more thing, the ad hominem attack. I know that's classic and it gets thrown out a lot, so everybody's kind of numb to the actual tactic. So, but just pay attention. For the most part, very rarely do I result in a ad hominem attack. Very rarely, maybe 9 times out of 10. Now, I will levy a ad hominem attack if someone levies one towards me. Then I will return one in kind, you know. But I try to the best of my ability when I engage in a discussion with people on a panel. I try my best not to resort to that at all. Especially when I'm challenging someone's talking points, I try to not make it personal and I try not to attack the person. And I do that intentionally just to keep everything on the up and up. Let's make it about the talking points. Let's not make it about you. You know what I mean? Like, if a maggle comes on the panel and they're just getting their fucking maggle on, I'm not gonna sit up here and say and dismiss what they're saying by saying, oh nigga, you just a maggle, or nigga, you just a simp. Woo woo woo. No, all of his points or all of her points that he or she says, I'm going to deconstruct and break them down point by point. It's too easy just to call somebody a simp or a maggle or a beta. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather use what you say and walk the audience through step by step as to why you're a maggle, as to why you're a simp, as to why you're a beta. But if you notice as of late, if you've been abreast on some of the panels that I've been on, yeah, I've gotten a couple of brothers out of character. We're having a discussion, and all of a sudden they're the first to levy the first ad hominem attack. Like the Grinch when I was on a panel with him a couple days ago. He was sipping too much hen. It was the hen sipper. Nigga was sipping too much of that brown. And oh, y'all niggas is weak, and nigga, you a bitch. And I said, yep, I got you. Got him, coach. I got that nigga's number. And then just recently when I was on a panel with, I was on a Game Changers panel, and this brother by the name of Zero Hate hopped on, and he solely came on to address the points that I made on that panel. And he, instead of inquiring of the points that I made that he wanted to challenge, he started casting aspersions and just talking out his ass about the said points that I was making. So then in turn, I asked him to qualify his statements. He got on his narcissist kick and was like, I don't have to answer that. I don't have to answer that. And I told him, sir, yes, you do. Yes, you do. And then, he got in his fifis and wanted to call me a bitch. And I said, there you go. I ad hominem attack, huh? There you go. There you go. And there it is. Shout out to Obsidian. There it is. There it is. So yeah, the ad hominem attack, it's a oldie but goodie. It's an oldie but goodie. I'm starting to notice when I'm starting to nail these brothers to the cross, their go-to ad hominem is, oh nigga, you a bitch. You a bitch. You a bitch. Yeah, okay, man. Whatever you say. Whatever you say. But yeah, and another thing, and I learned this from MOT, so, you can blame MOT for this one. He said that his line of questioning, when he questions someone, he's gonna ask them a yes or no question. It's a simple question, it's either yes or no. You answer in the affirmative first, or yes or no, then you can explain why you chose to go yes or no. I asked motherfuckers a yes or no question, and now they want to walk around the block to the corner store, pick up a pack of squares and shit and walk back. I'm like, bruh, you dragging it, bruh. You taking a long way home, man. Whenever you get done talking all this bullshit, we're gonna get back to that yes or no. So I'm not even, well, I am listening to you, but I haven't took my eye off of that yes or no. So once you say yes or no, then I'm gonna ask you to qualify that yes or that no. You got motherfuckers who wanna, well, you see, it's like this. It's like if you ask a motherfucker the simple question, is the sky blue? Or what color, it's the sky blue. And they'll say, instead of answering in the affirmative or the negative, yes or no, they'll say, well, you see, the oxygen molecules when it interacts with light, you have the speed of light times the speed of sound, divide that by the atmosphere, and you can multiply that by the hole in the ozone layer to the third power, squared, cubed. It's like, nigga, is the sky blue or not? Yes or no? What the fuck? Bunch of smart, dumb nigga jive talk from a bunch of jive ass turkeys. Get the fuck, man. Carry a skunt. You think me a poglet boy? Eh? Shit. And it's funny because recently I heard, brothers want to call me the counselor or the prosecutor, or one of my favorites is Inspector Benjamin. Man, when I went back to college, man, in my late 20s, I was going to go to become a lawyer, ironically enough. It's just a skill of mine, just a talent of mine. I'm one of those rare audio learners. I took an IQ test a long time ago, man, back in middle school, and come to find out I'm an audio learner. So I learn by listening. It's a talent. It's just a skill, just a gift, I guess. But yeah, that was what I went to school for, or that I was going to school for. Then I got a bitch pregnant and had to switch shit up. So yeah, I am gonna ask you a question. I am gonna cross-examine you. You can't handle the truth. Straight up, man. But yeah, man. Be on the lookout for those narcissistic tactics where brothers don't like to be questioned on the assertions that they make. The ad hominem attack. What else did I say? Shit. Oh yeah, they like to filibuster and interrupt and obfuscate and then in turn play the victim. Be on the lookout for these tactics, man. When you notice these tactics from particular panelists, then you can conclude that there's something rotten in Denmark with particular panelists or particular content creator. Because if you have something to hide, you're not on the up and up. But yeah, that's all I got, man. Get up on that.